There's something called UEFN, which is Unreal Engine Fortnite Editor.
Okay.
It is specifically made to create Fortnite games. Like that guy, he was, I think, around 20 or 15 or 20 years old. He created a map which is nothing but just this cube, which is split in half. One's a red corner, one's a blue corner. People spawn on that map and they fight. That guy made close to, uh, I think he made 10 or $20 million
Okay.
last year, and he has been doing that for like every year since.
How excited are you? Tell me that you're excited.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Okay, the first question and the most difficult question, what are you doing right now? What's happening in life?
Right now, I'm just freestyling, to be honest. I'm exploring what I can do, what I'm capable of. I'm trying to pick up skills from time to time that are not my core skills in terms of academics, and I try to like learn from doing things rather than going to an academic
So you're
flow.
exploring mostly.
I'm exploring mostly.
So what's your core work which you're doing? Because I know that you're a very senior person in a prestigious company.
I work as VP of Product and Growth at PropVR.
Mhm.
So essentially, my role could be defined as a product owner or a product manager, but at the same time, I also have to look after a lot of other aspects that goes around in the company as a startup.
Right.
Where are we headed? Giving direction to the products that's already in the pipeline or the new upcoming services that we are starting off day in day out.
What kind of products are we talking about here?
Okay. So PropVR essentially is it's a PropTech company. Okay. Now PropTech is anything around real estate,
Mm-hmm.
any technology that's around real estate. It's PropTech, property tech. Okay. So we deal in the experiences part of it. Okay. Now when I say experience, it means like real estate could be it can be a commercial property, it can be something as a villa, something as a flat in a tower, something like that, right?
So is
So
this mostly the renderings you guys are generating or there's more layers to it?
so visualization is a part of the process. Okay. The process is a little bit longer. The thing is, visualization is just the basis of whatever we are trying to build on
Right.
it. Okay. We have gamified a lot of these experiences into metaverse experiences. Metaverse is, you can think about it as it's a digital twin or a replica of the actual space that is about to come or is already there.
So now when we're talking about gamification, right? Like this word sounds really cool. What exactly does this give the user? What is the benefit of it? And just like elaborately explain what does gamifying anything means and what are you guys doing specifically in PropVR?
So, when we talk about gamification, it's something that is interactive. It's interactive in a way where you can just get into the zone and you don't have to have any sort of knowledge or anything that you need to know to operate that thing. You can have fun with it, but at the same time you can go through a very very detailed experiences that depends on the level of optimizations of models and how we have integrated the design that was supposed to be done, right? That comes down to that. But
Give me an example of this
okay,
so that
for example, like there's a project that's upcoming right now in Dubai. Right now, before the sale has started and all of this, we want to get some closings done, and these are high value properties, right? So what we do is we create like a digital twin of the entire building. We can go around the entire space as you can walk around, you can run around like you would do in GTA or any first person shooter game. You can run around the space, you can interact with the model, you can change some elements, like you can change the materiality or look at how it looks in different times of the day, with light, without light, in a different design style. It can be contemporary, classic, modern, chamfered, anything, right? So now if you're giving so much ability to a client, that can help decision making be done faster.
definitely.
And he's just having fun with it, right? His imagination is like bringing up to reality, right?
Yeah.
So we have to do a lot of work to enable this product and get it to the client.
Yeah.
But the thing is, once he has it, they see a much more faster conversion rate, right?
Right. So I think how I can simply explain this, one of my cousins called me like last week, and he was talking that he had gone to these real estate properties to buy some apartments, right? And he didn't know some of the villas or the apartments were not selling. And he asked this question to the guy, saying, "Why is this not selling?" So that guy is never going to tell you why exactly, because he
Exactly.
wants that to be sold. But this exact problem can be solved by what you're trying to tell me, right? You can
Exactly.
see exactly what time of the day light's not there,
Yeah.
what kind of textures you need exactly to frame
Exactly.
or like color or whatever you need to bring out
Yeah.
or like use a space differently. You can exactly do all of it before the space is even made,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? As simple as that, right? And that's so much easier for a user who's playing around and doing it, because
Exactly.
usually these things are extremely complex for an architect also to make.
The architect's competency relies on defining how a space should be, right? But the thing is, when it comes to like mass development with a lot of properties, an architect is not going on checking each and every single room, right? It is not possible. He does what's best for the master plan of the design. He does what's best for the circulation, what's best area he can
True.
give it to the real estate. So the majority of the people don't take that into consideration as architects. Architects are also obligated to give back most amount of area in FSI. FSI is like, space index.
Right.
So most amount of floor space index, FSI, to the real estate. That is what makes money for real estate, right? So it
Exactly.
has to be there. It cannot
I think
be.
this is a big constraint for architects to design something in the FSI or like whatever is regulations given. And that kind of narrows down the design to maybe like whatever he wanted to explore 100% has come down to 40 or 30 even, right?
Exactly.
And you cannot at the end of the day blame the guy who's designing, because it's come down to only the regulation and the developers trying to make most of it.
Yeah.
But still, these kind of softwares or say props help people a lot,
Yeah.
right? So that is one part. We are talking about gamification. Now you spoke about digital twin.
Yeah.
What is digital twin?
Digital twin is exactly what anybody would make out of the name.
Mhm.
It's an exact replica of a real world space. Okay, a real world assets, exact digital replica. It can exist in a lot of forms. It can exist something as small as a 3D model of, let's say, this bottle,
Hmm.
or it can be as big as a city,
Right.
right? It can be an iPhone, it can be anything. So that's a digital replica of whatever it is, right?
Hmm.
3D asset. And it can be functional in cases. We at PropVR, we also make digital twins of cities. So we have made Dubai's digital twin. We have made Riyadh. Right now, we are working on Abu Dhabi. So, so there are a lot of digital twins that are also existing from other
So is this
companies.
there like an open source database anybody can use,
No,
or this is
so
specifically for you
so
guys?
right now we're about to make it open source to a certain extent,
Hmm.
because see, we have created this data with like a lot of, you know there's like a lot of proprietary innovations that we had to do for this very
But are you
soon.
guys also getting data from like open source data, or this is from scratch? You guys are creating everything.
So interesting question. Yes, we have to create a lot of 3D models, but the thing is, we are using something called PCG, which is procedural content generation. Okay,
Okay.
it is basically like um, you create like some sort of a formula that works on the polylines. Polylines is just the outline of the building
Right.
from the map,
Hmm.
and it can start generating and populating data.
This is
Um,
mostly generative fill sort
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
thing.
and it's very accurate also, because
Oh.
we are taking the outline data
Hmm.
from a map like OpenStreetMaps or Cesium or Google Maps or Google Earth data, right?
Hmm.
So we know that it's very accurate. Road networks and all as well.
Yeah.
It's all procedurally generated.
Correct.
We have created a lot of data around it. Right now, it's as simple as clicking 4 points, and it can generate a building from the Google Earth data, understanding what's the height reference around the
Right.
things and all of.
So now a city like Dubai or Riyadh, there might be a lot of data which is available.
Yep,
When you come to India, you don't have anything.
that's right. Yeah.
A very rare amount of some places you can get something, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do we create these digital twin, or what problems are you guys facing for cities like Indian cities, say, even the metropolitan cities, not even like I'm not going to two tier, second tier or third tier.
I'll explain very briefly how the entire procedural content generation works. Okay. So what happens is we also have a lot of photogrammetry data. Now I'm using so photogrammetry data is nothing but like a 3D data made from drone data. Okay, like the
Correct.
drone goes in a spiral and there's a flying path. It captures a lot of data. Now that's for reference only. Okay, we use it as reference. We don't use it as 3D data as it is. For India, what we did was there was a company called there is a company called Genesis in Mumbai. Okay, so what they are doing is they have like a huge amount of photogrammetry data, like huge amounts of, like I think they have a lot of Maharashtra, a lot of Karnataka, a lot of Telangana. Now, if you take that data, you understand a few things. You understand vegetation, you understand height index. Okay.
So just to give a brief about photogrammetry, so it's basically if you have this 3D object,
Yeah.
to get this 3D object model to be ready in your what do you say, PC or any environment, 3D space, I mean digital space, you need to take multiple photos from all the angles, and that kind of creates a point cloud around of it, and
Exactly.
that creates a 3D, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
yes. So how do you start making an area? Is you split it into tiles, like tiles of 100 meters by 100 meters.
Right.
You take that patch out. You start. You put that point cloud data into Unreal Engine, and you start replicating that data set, right? And you do it for every tile.
Correct.
Put it together.
Huh.
That is how you create a digital twin of a city.
Right.
Now the thing is, for Dubai, there was a lot of there's a lot of photogrammetry data that was available, so we took references from that. For India, we had all of this, right? But still, there's a major chunk of the problem is still getting access to that data is number one. You cannot just somebody who has
Yeah.
done so much of that is number one. Second is um, the road networks and all over in India, it's way more complex. It's not as simple as this is street number one, street number two.
Right.
It's not. It's not like
Correct.
that, right?
Correct.
So right now we are trying to do a POC of Bangalore and Mumbai. We are taking a very very small segment, okay, and we are trying to sort of create just that part, and then we'll start replicating for other. But it's a whole different approach for India.
Nice.
You're right about it. It's very complex.
Yeah, I think as a market, because we were also trying to crack something on similar lines.
Oh, okay.
Extremely complex to do something.
What
So
was it
we
about?
were trying to create a simulator wherein if you put a site in the thing saying this is the site in Bangalore, it should create what kind of property should you make on that.
Oh, okay.
Right, so commercial, residential, it'll give you all of the analysis, give you a render as well of like how the property will look at the end, kind of like your concept stage, whatever you require, right?
Yeah,
One step solution for that. So imagine like all these fathers keep going and investing in the real estate, no, they'll just play on this saying अच्छा यहाँ पे ये वाला site है, इसको invest करेंगे तो कैसा आएगा पैसा, and then you understand everything around of it. It will not give you 100% accurate result, but you'll vaguely understand what do you need. So you'll get your plans, you'll get your 3Ds, and you'll get overall idea of what is the best kind of investment you can do on this.
Yeah. I
Right.
think makes sense because see, if let's say I can start making the metaverse tech that I'm trying to do for way cheaper, I would love to give it out to architects and say that hey, you can use it to play with the land parcel.
Yeah.
And right now we are building like a SaaS platform that it can be enabled in a year. Like, okay, so I'm working around that one of those products right now, along with our VP of Tech and Engineering, Karthik. So he's heading the product. So one of this is where we are trying to create it as a SaaS platform where whatever Figma did to like Adobe XD or like how Canva is so easy to create this thing.
Exactly.
We want to do that to the digital twin space. We want to create a twin motion sort of approach to like you can just cut out a land parcel, put the coordinates, it brings out the land parcel.
Right.
Then you can test out.
Exactly. So for this also to run, what I'm talking about, your area parcel should be correct, no? what you're
But the
what
thing
you're
is, right
doing.
now you
It
don't have the
becomes
correct
extremely
area
easy.
parcel. So if we are able to
Exactly,
create
exactly.
that,
Then
so
we can add this.
there's a
So the
correlation, there's a
idea,
synergy over there.
the idea was to get all the data from.
Square yards.
So Square Yard has a lot of data.
No, so Square yards has a lot of data, but that's cesium data what they're using right
Oh,
now.
is it?
Yeah.
So that data.
So cesium is open source. You can use cesium data.
Amazing.
So cesium is 100% open source. How it works is it has created a huge photogrammetry data of the world as far as it can go, and they have done spatial tiling, which is cutting it into tiles. It loads based on demand. Okay, you can get a token and then you apply the token for that particular land parcel. It sends you back the entire thing, right? So that is how it works, and it's open source, so you don't have to use any of
Right.
nothing.
So the idea is to simplify real estate as much as possible
Yeah.
because it has become complex at this point.
Yeah.
People need to go to 100 different people, understand what this site is, what is
Yeah.
happening around of it.
Yeah.
It
So
needs to be simplified because the other day I was just looking at like why would our podcast not work or work? It's because if I'm talking about health or anything related to my body, yes, maybe because it's too close to me. But imagine everything around of me is designed. No, nobody's talking about design though.
yeah.
Right?
Correct.
Everything around me is impacting me, but I don't care. I don't know why I'll buy this, or why this TV, or why this light. I don't care. That I'm not looking at YouTube, but I'm looking at everything else possible. So I was like, guys, we need to simplify design for people.
Yeah,
For
absolutely.
sure.
So like just before PropVR, so what I was doing is I was building a startup. Okay, that was my second startup just before PropVR. So what I was trying to do is I was trying to build a a Proptech application, more like on the lines of whatever housing.com or 99 acres and any of these big giants have done. But I was not trying to build it as a listing website or a search and discovery. I was building it as a 3D search and discovery. What I was trying to do is I was trying to make a digital twin of a very big land parcel, say Bangalore, for example, or India, for example, and you could view each and every property on that particular land parcel, and that was a search and discovery platform. The entire application or platform would enable three things majorly. One is the 3D search and discovery. You know exactly where it sits. You know a lot of things about the land parcel, because essentially if you look at real estate as a product, it's not just a space. Okay, it's a lifestyle at this moment. People are selling lifestyles. You go to any of these top developers, even mid-sized developers are right now like all about what lifestyle a person is going to buy with this purchasing a property over here. You go to any of these big cities, you'll see that where there's a big brand of a real estate, you'll see just that real estate around, because that's the lifestyle. You get the road, you get Wi-Fi, free connectivity of Wi-Fi. You don't need anything to buy over there. It's a lifestyle you get along with it. So my idea was like, why can't this 3D search and discovery be like the norm? I'll give you a very simple example. Okay, this bottle is was 100 rupees. Okay, this kombucha by local ferment co is 100 rupees, and to buy this, I had information like how much calorie it has, what ingredients, so many things. It's a 100 rupee kombucha bottle. Now if I want to go and buy a property worth 4 cr, I have no information where it sits on the parcel. I have to look at a brochure. I have to figure out. I have to learn how to look at a plan. Now imagine from a layman's point of view, who's not an architect, cannot make sense a lot of times. Okay, does not know very simple things about what's the materiality difference, stuff like this.
I have to add something to it
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
there are these companies who are selling plots without even telling where the plot is. And I don't know, swear to God, how people are investing in such things. I have zero idea.
Devanahalli in Bangalore is a
Oh,
big
God.
example right now.
Let's not even start about Devanahalli. Devanahalli sold even before, I think, when it came to Earth. I was like, I don't even know if it is there or if the land has sunk in, but it's sold.
Yep.
It's definitely sold at way higher price than the nearer land parcels for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was trying to build that platform was trying to enable that, but we had technical limitations at that moment. Okay, we could not do that. The second part of the problem was when you have bought the property. how do you know what's happening on the property without visiting that property? You need
You
some
can. Yeah.
timeline updates. When is the handover? What's happening next? Which slab's gonna get casted? A lot of these things, and it also happens a lot of the cases. The plan is frozen, but it changes on the execution stage because
Oh,
something was not
definitely.
what was not possible on the site.
110%. You should go and check your property for sure
For
because
sure, like, go
there
visit the
are
properties, guys.
more choice, more number of times it will not be the same thing.
Yep.
Uh, okay, so let's get to a little bit of a lighter note.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your journey. Let's talk about why and how did you come here because an architect usually does not have this route to take, and that's why we are here to talk about how and what.
So I got into architecture because my brother was an architect. I visited him in college when he was studying in Pune. I was very fascinated with the entire, how you would sit down, work, the detailings of the sheet and everything. I was really, really like I was really I got really passionate about it during the time. And I think I was in class 8 or 9 at the moment. I still had a long way to come to get. But then I started off architecture in 2016. And I was studying in Calcutta itself. I'm from Calcutta, born and raised. So I studied in Kolkata itself. And when I was in the middle of my college, I understood that I'm not a very good designer. Okay, I'm not a very good designer. I could not design very very well. So what I started doing is what I started taking other new skill sets. For example, I was doing a lot of visual scripting or making plugins on Rhino Grasshopper for a very long time. I started learning Houdini, which is essentially a VFX tool.
Yeah.
But I was making a lot of geometry.
More simulation kind of
Yeah. So I was doing bizarre shit at that time. As an architect who's supposed to be doing as an architecture student, I had a lot of time to kill. So what I did was I learned a lot of skills around architecture without without all of this. So I learned that, and then in fourth year, I sort of got an internship, and after that
which you
internship,
have to do, right?
yeah, which you have to do,
Compulsory.
yeah. Once I was done with that internship, which was also the time when Corona hit, right? So the internship was also work from home for a very long time. That was, and then it was internship, no work from office. So I had another like a lot of time to kill. That is when I taught myself like a lot of coding, a lot of
Visual
applications.
scripting.
Not just visual scripting. I learned I can write code on C++, C Sharp, and Kotlin, Java.
Right.
I learned a lot of languages because I was confused what to learn. So like I learned everything. Once I did all of that, right? The semester after that, which is supposed to be the onset of my thesis, I got a job. I got a job offer from this company called SRI Design Labs. It's in Hyderabad. In Hyderabad, they have few parts of it in Germany as well. It was a 3D printing studio. They
Oh,
were
interesting.
they were printing molds, lampshades.
I need
Like
their contact.
I'll set you up with the founder. He's a very cool guy. So me and I was working with the team, but I was not on site. I was working from distance. I was learning a lot from them. So I found like a lot of applications, like true applications for the first time of parametric design. Okay, like you can do this. Okay, and we executed a lot of projects together. I helped them find some business. I ran some comms for them for some time, and I was in fifth year and I was getting like a stipend. I was feeling like king at the moment, like because fifth year I had a job and stuff like that, right? So that was my first step into going away from architecture. कि अब तो नहीं हो रहा है architecture. So after that, I was working from home. My dad is into interiors, redesign and stuff like that. So I was helping him with all of that. Now then I moved to Bangalore in 2022. I graduated in 21. I moved to Bangalore.
You
And
moved because you had a job or you just
no. So I just moved. I just moved because
Right.
see, I come from Kolkata. As lovely as that city is, it's not very inspiring. you would not want to be there for a longer time. Really sorry for
Don't
Kolkata folks if
don't
you
put it.
anybody who's listening there. But yeah, so come out of Kolkata or go back and build something in Kolkata so that you get more opportunity. But yeah, so I moved out. And the thing is, I've been coming to Bangalore since 2016, 2017,
Okay.
almost every year. I know the city. I was so amazed when I came to the city for the first time. I love the culture. I met very good people. Back then anybody you would know is a software engineer has gone to US or about to go to Bangalore, right?
True.
So
True.
the entire IT hub was here. So a lot of tech startups also started coming in 2014, 20. Flipkart had their office in Koramangala. I went and visited the Flipkart office back then. So a lot of these things inspired me back then, right? So then I moved, and like Bangalore, my brother is in Bangalore. He runs a architecture firm. He's also an architect. So I was like, I'll just go and I'll sit in with him in his office. I'll help him out. Meanwhile, I'll figure out what I want to do.
Right.
So I came to Bangalore and then I was helping him in his office. So what I did was I knew I'm not good in design. So I started a visualization studio, a creative consultancy studio where I was like, you're a real estate developer. Oh, wow. Very nice. I'll make 3D
Just
visualization
saying
for
that
you.
sells more than design.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you want a career, please switch
Please
that
switch.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll make a website, I'll handle it, I'll create product strategies, launch strategies around
Oh,
everything. So I was doing
you're giving
everything,
the package.
full package. And I was a SPC, like a OPC, whatever you can call it, like a single person company.
Oh, okay.
So I was that is a term apparently you can
Yeah.
register it like that. So I was a single person company and I was operating all by myself. A a bit more time into it. I ran that company for like a year.
Mm-hmm.
It was called Studio Chitrikar back then.
Okay.
So by then, so I had the edge that I can do really, really good visualizations because I taught myself Unreal Engine, and I wanted to become a game designer after college because architecture was not really going to be my forte. So I taught myself few skills like Unreal Engine or rendering softwares, some modeling softwares and stuff like that. So I was really good with it. So what I started doing was I was like, I'll just do this. 1 year in running in this into it, I got fed up. I got fed up max. I was like, bro, I cannot do this for a longer time because architects don't stop changing design. Real estate people are never happy with the design. They'll launch something and something else is getting built. And one day before launch, I'm getting a call saying, "Hey Saket, can you change?" I'm like, "No, rendering takes time. You are
Yeah.
changing one
No,
day.
no, nobody cares about
Nobody
it.
cares
They're
about
like,
that."
I have given you this design change. Can you send a rendering in like 5 minutes? Sir, my computer cannot do it.
Yeah. We could make money, but at the same time, it was not scalable.
Yeah.
Plus, I did not take a vacation for like almost 2 years. I ran the company for like 2 years. Yeah, sorry, 2 years. I did not take a vacation for 2 years. I could I could barely sleep. I was staying up all night for like back to back hours. And so it was very, very bad. Then I was like, I cannot do this. I need to do something. I need to productize something. So I was like, okay, see, I am making all these nice looking 3D renders and stuff like that. I'm creating this virtual reality experiences, these in-depth metaverse experiences and stuff like that. Why can't we bring all of this into a single hosted platform, which was Twinnel, which was my second company, which was the entire digital twin search and discovery
Awesome.
platform
So is
where
it also like you have all these 3Ds ready where people can take it and use it, or what exactly?
you can take and use it, but the thing is, like, also other real estate developers,
Huh.
they create 3D digital models, right? For rendering they are making,
Correct.
or BIM models, BIM models, they are making all those models, right? So I created like a template that if you import the model into this, you can very quickly implement the
Ah,
inventory. Like you can,
right, right. Understood.
so from the time you get the model to the time it goes on the app, it was a 3 day journey. And because it's a product, you can make money on
Scalable.
advertisement. Scalable. You can make money on this
Otherwise, you
thing.
have one person running it, you can do only so much.
Exactly.
Right.
So that was the idea that I'll start with low and mid level developers, less recognized, less discovered. उन लोग को मैं लेके आऊंगा प्लेटफॉर्म के ऊपर and I'll build a tech on top of it. And eventually, when more traffic starts rushing in, I'll start taking commission on a lot of business model I thought. But that is when I sort of reached out to, so basically with this entire plan, I sat with it like for like 8 or 10 months. I got a co-founder on board. He was a CTO. I'm not gonna name him, but yeah, I got him on board. Um, and we were very close to raising funds. We were in talks with another venture capitalist firm in Bangalore. I'm not going to name that capitalizer, but yeah, so we were about to raise like 500,000. I gave them like a very, so it was like a seed round. Okay, we were about to raise 250 to 500K US dollars. That was the idea, and right before this, I realized that now if I get the money, I need to do something in the next 4 months. Otherwise, this company will die. So I have to create a roadmap now. What do I do? So I reached out to PropVR's like co-founder Sundar, who's currently my boss right now. So I reached out to him and I told him, "Ki, hey, I am trying to build this. Would you like to collaborate
Right.
and stuff like that?" That was the idea that I reached out to him with, and then he
And then what
replied,
happened?
and then he replied immediately. So see, Propia Sundar did a very very good thing, which was he patented a lot of these tech stacks,
Hmm.
a lot of these applications of these tech. Okay, so he had something in the similar domain like this as well. But at the same time, he was like, "Hey, listen, we are also trying to build a 3D search and discovery. Why don't you get your team yourself? Come down here, join us, build this product together." He gave me this opportunity and stuff like that, and that is how I just. So basically, I took a long, hard look at the entire process of my startup. To be honest, if even if I got, I think I would have burned through at least 10 to 20 million dollars to get to get the R&D in place. Okay, I would have burned another $100 million to get the first product out. The product, how it would work, it would require a lot of GPU power. I had to set up a lot of infrastructure. To be honest, I was limited by tech.
Yeah.
There's technical limitations. I agree on that part. I till date, I don't know how it will be feasible in the long run, but that is it. Like you cannot do anything better than that. So after that, Sundar was like, "Hey, come here, join us, and why don't you just collab? We'll make something together down the line when we have more." So we were trying to innovate. We're trying to create that product. Still, we're still far from it. But I believe that someday that has to be the norm.
Yeah.
There's no other way.
I think we have to also understand the kind of applications we are talking about specifically. They take time, they take a lot of resources, resources both in terms of people, also tech, as in laptops or you say monitors and the GPU we are talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, for sure.
There's a lot that is required, and we don't understand as a startup that there's so much which has to go behind, and that was, I think, was solved by PropVR, a lot of it,
Yeah.
right?
So to a certain point, yes, but
Hmm.
still it's not scalable. Like for example, if you want to do anything solution on web
Hmm.
and it's as heavy as a video game, you cannot just do it.
That
Like
is
this,
true.
right?
That is
So
true.
how I was looking at the entire process was from uh, like if you look at cloud gaming, there's a solution that exists now. You can go to geogames.cloud, and what happens is you can just create an ID, you can pay 200 rupees, and you can play any game that is available there without having good laptop because it's running on web. Thing is, when we do something like that for our application and you have to make it on demand for like 1,000 concrete users, you will burn a lot of money initially. With geocan we cannot. Even I like, so why would somebody give you money to figure out something?
True.
You don't have the solution to it, right? So you
Correct.
cannot do it. So technically it's not possible, but still we have it figured out for a certain, like if you say that I have this application, I want to run it for 10 people, I can do it.
Right.
For infinite people, sorry, it's
Yeah.
not possible still.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. So I think most of college we have done, we have understood what you have been through to come here. The now I would want people to get a little bit more information in terms of if they want to get where you are at, what exactly should they do, or like what should they be learning, heading towards. Because when you're in college itself, you can start doing all of this. We did not have the access to it, so we did all our exploration and then we stuck to one of the lines. No?
Yeah.
So tell me 5 or 3 steps to get to what you're doing right now.
I don't think I can put it into steps.
Okay.
I like it honestly. I think one thing that I did to myself, which I think every student in college or architecture school or any academic school should do, is be true to yourself. Okay,
That is
be true to yourself.
absolutely on point.
If you're not good at design, you're not good at design.
And I feel like
Okay,
80% of people,
are not.
yeah,
Okay, that's why only like some amount of people go ahead and create a design studio because they have the guts, they have trust in themselves that yes, I can, make good design. Be true to yourself through and through. Know what your strengths, weaknesses are, like clearly. Don't have this gray area in your head. If you're not good at something, you're not good at something. Be open about it, accept it, and at the same time, try and find things that you may be okay. Like for example, I was really passionate about gaming, so I was like, I'll become a game designer. Now in the process to becoming a game designer, I learned Unreal Engine. Okay,
makes
now
sense.
because I was not good at design, but I like looking at beautiful crazy designs. So what I did was I learned Grasshopper only because I wanted to create building like like in crazy looking Zaha Hadid type buildings and Snoheta and
All
all
of us,
those.
all of us,
So I
guilty.
learned like that. I was trying to cheat to get from that 3D model stage to plan section elevation for my final this thing. Okay. In that process, I learned how a BIM Rhino workflow works, and it was so easy. It made my life so easy, and I just manufactured designs like with like very. It was not very structurally sustainable, but it was still good looking design. Okay, and also I think in architecture school people have very very less time. Plus, also I don't agree with how architecture is being taught these
Let's
days.
not even get to that topic. We have another podcast for that. We'll do
So
another 2 hours rant session.
yeah, so I am not going there, but really, I'm not in the favor of how it's being taught,
Definitely, I
right?
agree.
And there was one itch in myself, which was I want to do something of my own. I don't wanna, I don't wanna go and do like this tedious job somewhere. If somebody is mentoring me, I was like okay, but I did not want to be in design anyways.
I think we also have to talk about how important a mentor is, and we don't really get a mentor in our fields
Absolutely.
at all. I mean, I can't even start ranting about this because we need somebody to look at their path and be like, okay, this is exactly how I can at least start and then deviate if required,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But we don't have these role models, or if they are there, the access to them is just, I don't really know where to start, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is exactly why we are doing this. Exactly why people should have access to stories like yours
Yeah.
and the stories we are talking about. Okay. Now the last thing is if they have to learn to create digital twin, what is the process towards it?
Hmm.
Or if we are talking about gamification, what are the softwares people should learn? What are the steps to that?
So for digital twins, um, modeling is like the base of it. Okay.
What softwares of
So right now, if we are speaking about 2025, I would not tell you the traditional SketchUp, Autodesk.
oh
No,
god no.
go for Blender. Learn Blender inside out. Blender is open source. It's free. It runs on a potato. You don't need a very hi-fi computer. It runs on a potato. Learn Blender. Okay,
Yeah.
and go step by step till the point. And the best thing about Blender is it's an open community.
Correct.
So you can reach out to people who have made the software. You can reach out to devs inside the company, say that this is the problem, this is what I want to make, and they'll give you like
But I think all the software which are around, like these new generation thing, most of the people are really available all, I mean, not all the time, but accessible for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, absolutely.
And
So
you will have 10 use case. People are talking about it on forums. Even if you go to Rhino, for me, Rhino Grasshopper is the main thing. You go on the forums, people will
yeah,
talk about it.
yeah, and I was a very active member of the forum. Like I learned. a lot of these things firsthand from Mike Pryor, who was the founder of Pufferfish.
Oh, damn.
So I worked a lot with him, or like not with him, but like I kept texting him and he would give me back results,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I made a lot of
The
friends.
community extremely supportive
Yeah, yeah,
for
very, very,
sure.
very, very. So Blender,
Hmm.
Unreal Engine, it's a very versatile tool. Like, I cannot stress enough. Like I speak to the guys back at Unreal Engine every day in day out. Sometimes I surprise them with what I have managed to do with their tool. They're like, "अरे ये कैसे कर रहे हो तुम लोग?" And then, so Unreal Engine is definitely, again, open source. Anybody can use it. Anybody can download it. And because now there is Lumen as a new tech, which is like very optimized ways of rendering now. So you can use it on a very, not very high end system also.
Okay.
These two things should be good enough for creating digital twins. These are also what we use in our pipeline majorly.
Okay. If you are gamifying anything, do you have any steps to that?
Let's say gamification can be a lot of things, right? You can.
Let's say broadly how somebody can get to it if they want to
Okay.
uh, gamify any small
I'll give you an
element.
example. We also do a lot of Fortnite games.
Hmm.
We make and launch Fortnite games. Okay.
Okay.
Very recently, we had a project which was an island project. Okay.
Hmm.
So we did the full digital twin of this thing on Unreal Engine. So we had the digital data for it.
Okay.
So what we did was there's something called UEFN, which is Unreal Engine Fortnite Editor.
Okay.
It is specifically made to create Fortnite games. Anybody can create an account, anybody can create a map, and anybody can launch a game. Okay. Now, the fun thing is, if your game takes off, you can make millions. And
Guys, this is where.
you
Just
can make
saying.
millions. I'm not even kidding. There's a map called Red and Blue on Fortnite. Me and Karthik at office, we talk about it all the time. Like that guy, he was, I think, around 20 or 15 or 20 years old. He created a map which is nothing but just this cube, which is split in half. One's a red corner, one's a blue corner. People spawn on that map and they fight. That guy made close to, uh, I think he made 10 or 20 million dollars
Okay.
last year. And he has been doing that for like every year since. He's like a billionaire at this point.
Guys, if you earn billions, please comment. If not, also please comment. Just comment, like, subscribe.
But
Give
yeah,
love, give give जायदाद भी अगर है तो जो चाहिए दे दो. But please, yeah, please
stop,
watch.
Madhavi, you're sounding desperate.
I am. I have a YouTube channel. Do I have to be more desperate than this? Guys,
Architects after 7 p.m. Yes.
ऐसा दो.
Paisa though.
I think all the day, but after 7 we are like up.
No, but yeah, but so I just want so Fortnite, you know,
It's still there.
no, because Fortnite. So what I'm talking about gamification is, so what we did that is we brought that model,
Huh.
that island model into UEFN
Acha.
when we created a game. Okay. Now the thing is, the gameplay we've made it in a way where you play the game, you do the levels of that game, and by the time you end up that game, you explore the full island like in perfect detail.
Nice.
Okay. Now the thing is, for gamification, any of these things, what I could suggest is if you're an architect, not an architect, just a 3D artist, somebody who just likes playing games, have a lot of 3D models sitting around, you can always go to Unreal Engine Fortnite editor, and you can create a game around whatever 3D assets you have, and you can publish the game. So that's a very good, easy
Have fun.
gamification.
Have fun when you're making.
You don't have to
3Ds
go
also.
through all those complex codes of blueprinting and enabling a structure or something like that. UEFN, and by the way, it's no code also. You don't need to code anything on
Okay.
UEFN. It just design, publish.
Plugging it right in. If you want to sponsor us, we're right here. You want to talk about these people?
Yeah,
The
so-
yummiest kombucha I've
Yeah,
ever
so
had.
it's local ferment co. He's like a friend's friend, but recently I met the founder of local ferment co. He's a great guy, great,
Interesting
great drinks.
concept.
Yeah, and it goes very well with everything. It goes well with breakfast, lunch, or you can also pour in some. You can pour into like an alcohol, and it goes well with everything. It's very natural
मेरे माँ
ingredients.
बाप देखते हैं ये, अल्कोहल कुछ नहीं होता है, वो बस ऐसा हाथ में लगा के साफ कर लो, वो होता है अल्कोहल.
Yeah, I think people who are watching should definitely try this out.
They
It
have
is
not paid us. Please pay us if you're watching this.